Okay, worked. Only took me 3 tries this time. Hello, hello. Welcome. What a glorious afternoon this is. A Saturday that of a bunch of cool weather too for the past like week and a half. New 2K mod. Now I only ever play 2K when it's with my friends and it's on stream. I refuse to dignify that game any more of my life and soul energy if I don't have to. What's up to you as well, Chad, on guitar? Wish I learned how to play the guitar. Maybe one day. Ethan says here in Texas it's about over 100 degrees. Hell no. Hell no. Never. Absolutely not. Never. Oh yeah, school started. Yep. I used to hate them back to school commercials and seeing those. Time I get through seeing them, they be starting back to school commercials and last week of January, well, not January, July. It'd be back to school commercials. I get mad as hell looking at that. It's like, what the hell is that? I don't want to see this. It's back to school for somebody, but it shouldn't be me. Turn this down. I'll just get 2K. PS Plus makes it free like every year. Even then, they probably owe you money for playing that garbage. I see some people are already on. Is 2K6 2K26? Is that out, or is it just early access to some shills that be playing it? Because I see some people that are playing it right now. They're already complaining, saying how it looks exactly the same. It's like every single year it's like that. And I've gone a few 2Ks without. I got this one for $20 and it was on sale because friends were saying how, you know, you gotta, when you stream more, and if you plan on streaming more, it'd be fun if they watch us play, because we used to play 2K a lot. And I thought, yeah, that would be pretty interesting for people to watch. But outside of entertainment purposes, I do not touch that game. I don't play that game. I feel mad that I even spent $20 on it. I should have, when the 2K video I made, I should have put that in there where I said I spent $20. Things I could have gotten for $20. I could have gotten a 10-piece probably at Popeyes. I could have gotten a large pizza. I could have got like a bunch of other things with that. I could have got 2 Subway footlongs. Yeah, headset definitely needs help. Needs a lot of help. Which is worse, 2K or Madden? They're That's difficult. That's it's like they're different types of bad. I guess Madden would be worse because EA, they own the license, so nobody can make any professional football game, and they do worse with it. But 2K is right there, basically. And they prey upon unsuspecting basketball fans and they'll constantly have, just like every sports game, you'll constantly have an influx of people buying the game for no other reason than them being sports fans, but not because they're invested in the franchise, not because they care like that. Because there's nothing to really invest in except depression and upset stomach and buying that game every single year, and there are little to no changes except more sweat. And I swear they go out of their way to pick intentionally dark pictures. They'll pick a very dark picture, and then alongside that, they'll just have a lightened version of their current 2K and say, the change, oh my, the change. And because some of these that they've showcased the differences, when I'm looking at the one before it, I was like, that game was not that dark. That game did not have that shading look like that. Or they probably pick and chose certain areas to do that, but whatever. What's the best sports game of all time in your opinion? Hero Sapien says. Best sports game. I really haven't played enough sports games, if I'm being honest. I used to, there was like a 3 to 4 year period I was getting Madden games, and they weren't even mine. I was little, so it was just my father and stuff would be playing them, and then I'd play them too. But then I would like playing the things like '07, '08, '09, and I was still too young to really just play and understand it. But I really can't say best sports game of all time, really. I know 2K11, most of everyone, whenever they get polled about 2K, which 2K is the best, and they say 2K11 is up there, or like the definitive 2K with Jordan on the cover. Space Jam is the best sport. They had a sports game, or they had a. Well, it shouldn't be surprising if they had one. So, yeah. I get people leaving comments on the 2K video, which did a lot better than I thought it would. But they saying how, oh, but you're still doing this, still playing and stuff and stuff. Like I would not. There are so many things that I would not be doing and I would not be engaged in if I wasn't a content creator. I would have little to no social media, and I wouldn't be playing 2K period, because I've long gotten past. I think 2K. I think I did get 2K23 and 2K22. 2K22 was the last one that I said that I somewhat enjoy this. 2K23, they just changed up the shot meter again and little subtle nuances they made worse. And I said, I'm tired of this. I'm sick and tired of them doing that. And every 2K since 2K19 has been worse and worse, with 22 only being a little bit better. Because whenever I play a 2K now, it's just floaty ass ice skating defense. You can't really firmly plant your feet and stay in front of somebody. It's mostly just lag and bad net code. It's like defense changed drastically from 19 to current 2K. So a game that's over 5 years old is superior than your current version. I stopped caring after 2K20, 2K16. Yeah. That was one of the better ones too. I think that's in the definitive 2K top 3 that people put up there. Like the planet of water. Yeah, yeah, it does. Flying haze, that's a great example. Feels like you're playing on water, and it feels like you have weights on you. Can't really move as freely as you like, and it feels as though the currents dictate where you go more so than yourself. Especially on defense. Playing defense on 2K is extremely unfun. Defense is broken on the game. Did you ever play on a basketball team? No, I did not. I mean, it was a, it was some middle school type stuff, but that's when I first became aware of certain physical issues, which is the title of the stream, of my feet being an issue. Luckily, I never got too invested in any sport and really put my heart into playing in anything, because I would have been sorely disappointed being in high school and then seeing just how painful it was to do certain things, like to for an extended period of time, and then having to drop that as being a want, a desire to pursue. Because I was just looking at, my grandmother showed me some an old journal that I used to draw in when I was in kindergarten, and the first thing I ever wanted to be was a basketball player, and that was just because I was watching Space Jam a lot. Then it went from basketball player to construction worker, which is funny. Maybe I was missing too much or something. Then I briefly wanted to be in the military. I wanted to join the Navy, be on an aircraft carrier. Then it went to being actor and entertaining and stuff, and that was in middle school. And then it's just been that one want and desire since then. But my original thing was basketball player. From basketball to construction workers. Wow, you watch too much Ben Simmons. He couldn't do either, though. He can't even do the job that he has right now. I just got through seeing a tweet of someone saying how Ben Simmons, his back pains and all of that, and how he was able to fight through them. And it's like, Ben Simmons is a warrior and he's doing that. And I'm not discounting his back issues, because I've experienced some back related things just due to when your feet get bad, then your knees start to act up, then the back thing. And then when I was at work, I had like 2, 3 things get hurt at once when I fell. And then it was months of physical therapy. Bad back is horrible. So I'm not going to discount anything that he went through and say that wasn't debilitating, because you don't know just how painful it is to deal with a back that's strained or pained until you deal with it. But anytime people want to defend him, I would just bring up the fact that he sued the team for $20 million that he didn't deserve. And there was nothing wrong with him at the time that he did it. And he threw a fit and threw a tantrum because Doc Rivers and Embiid told the truth too much when they said, yeah, he kind of, the layup, him blowing the layup is when things went left. And because it was, and he wanted to get traded, he didn't show up to practice. Garbage mentality, unprofessional. No excuse to act like that. And it's only when he started really getting called out for his bad behavior and people was starting to get in on him, then you heard mental health. Oh, now we got mental health issues. Oh, it's Commissioner Luca, always a welcomed presence. The best commissioner that I've seen in here. I'd put Commissioner Brunson second to you. But them other ones, those other commissioners, like yeah, Commissioner Harden, Commissioner Drummond, we don't talk about them. They're barred from the premises, excommunicado. King George says, sorry you have heard you have some health issues, Commissioner. I actually got out of a hospital a week ago after emergency surgery. Hope you're doing better, mate. Oh, I definitely hope you're doing better too, George. Real sorry to hear that in your case. I hope it went well to have you here in the chat. I hope things went pretty well. But yeah, that's a shame you had to go through something like that. Yeah, I've been told now 2-3 different times in the past month I might have to get my feet worked on, and it's nowhere near as pressing of an emergency as what you just got through dealing with, King George, but it's an ongoing problem I've had for years, and then it just catches up with you. It's very irritating. It's frustrating, irritating. You got, because our little brother can't do certain things as much as I'd like to. Like, you have somebody that hyperactive. You want to ride a bike with them. You want to go and do that. It's just pain. And why I had to quit my job at the theater, the movie theater that I was in. And that was probably the most sustained happiness I've had for the 2 years that I worked there. Because it didn't feel like a job to me. I used to look forward to coming into work, and 8-hour shifts were nothing. I didn't even start feeling like I had been there a while until about hour 6 or 7, an hour from when I'm expected to go home. But then the pain started, and then I didn't know just how bad of a foot issue I had until I worked at that job where you can't sit down at all. And everybody has that pain no matter what. There have been some people that when they had started, this was their first job. Well, that was my first job too, but they were saying how they would be on either a football team or basketball team, and they would say, oh yeah, I'm used to physical this and that, and they would all be in pain. And it got to the point I said, it doesn't matter how good condition you're in, when you have to be on your feet for 8 hours straight, and there's no time to really sit down outside of your break, and you're doing that every single day for weeks and then months, you're going to have that period of pain. But then most people, the pain would subside for them within the first few weeks that I'm working there. It would just be like their feet have built up a tolerance. Mine just got worse and worse. Oh, thank you, Ethan, for watching the Cade video. I'm glad you enjoyed. That was long overdue. I first mentioned that Cade, talking about Cade, I think sometime at the beginning of this year, like January. That should have been done already. I had my gallbladder removed. I was there for 5 days, making small steps each day since I was discharged. Feet are difficult because you're always on them. Hope you get better. Yeah. Congratulations for getting your surgery taken care of, King George. My father still struggles with some issues in his foot, in addition to his many other issues. Hope you get some relief soon, mate. Yeah. Appreciate your well wishes, King George, and I hope your father continues to do well despite what he has to deal with too, because the foot thing too, and it to have issues like this at a certain, it'd be different if I was if I was like in my 40s, if I was in my 40s and I had some stuff, you expect there to be certain problems like these given times and stuff, but then you just look at everything else and you feel as though you're ancient, or then you feel like, oh, this is the first beginning stages of things you can't enjoy or can't do as much as you'd like to. And that must be what, because there's a video that I want to make that I hope to come out with soon, talking about how I believe professional athletes, they feel the effects of mortality in ways quicker than average people, or being faced with mortality in a way that's different than your average person, because they engage in activities in a profession that their body is the most important thing at their disposal. It's all about their body. And they see year to year things may change, and you hit that pinnacle where you're in your prime, and then it's just a slow downturn where your average person who's just going about their life in a normal way, they may not start feeling effects like that for another 5 to 10 years. Because what they're doing isn't really physically demanding. It's not highly strenuous. It must hurt like hell to be an athlete or to be a professional basketball player. And your mind, there's nothing wrong with that, but you physically can't keep up the same level that you've had in years past. And you gotta be relegated to coming off the bench, and you got some people that's probably couldn't tie your shoes that's coming up and starting ahead of you, and then you sitting there like, man, this is like, that just must hurt. Then you gotta retire, and you looking people playing, it's like, what do you do? Because that's been your whole life. It's a lot more different than being just a typical celebrity in a way, or being an actor or anything like that. Because you can act forever. You probably can't sing forever. Most people can if they keep up with their voice in a certain way. But basketball player and like athletes, you only get a certain section of time to be at your best and do things. And then after that, you retire relatively young. Most of them retire relatively young. And then, like, you see a LeBron, if this is his last season, he retires, and then he'd be 40, 41, or he's already 40, and he goes out into just day-to-day world where he doesn't have to play basketball. You're still seen as relatively young, but yet you have to retire here from basketball because you're ancient. Curry and all of them, they're like, Curry is what, 37 or something now, or Durant 30 something. They're like in their late 30s, but they're seen as old in just sports. So I always find that interesting. Earth Now says, Commish, who do you think will win the chip this year? I say the past 2.5, almost 3 years now this channel has been here, I've kind of always retroactively picked the defending champion, and I've always had a lot of faith and belief in the defending champion, or whoever that is, because in the past 3 years, you're defending champion. You just won. I think you're capable of winning again. But that was before the CBA changes. Like, after covering my first playoffs on the channel, I thought the Nuggets would repeat. And I think had they not had to get rid of people, and then Calvin Booth not making any moves, they could have repeated. or it would have been just them and the Celtics going back and forth or something. But and then I picked the Celtics to come back and win. But then now Jason Tatum gets injured, so and the Celtics caused their own downfall. That was probably the only thing I had some level of being a little bit right in, where I said either the Celtics repeat or they implode on their own. And that implosion can range from either mental collapse or injury. Unfortunately, it was injury. Well, technically, it was both. They shot themselves out of the game, out of multiple games, and embarrassed themselves. And then now OKC, along with being deep and being a very young team, I don't see another team. I don't see any team coming out east beating the Thunder. And the only team that probably had the best chance of doing it, their star player is injured now with Halliburton. The Bucks are in this weird space. And then you maybe have the Knicks, but I don't think the Knicks are beating the Thunder in those 7-game series. East is just extremely sus. I gotta make a video about that. Like if Kyrie wasn't still dealing with his injury, I would say the Mavs. I would put spotlight on the Mavs and say they got some stuff going on. Then you got the Clippers are just too. They're too. I don't even know how to quantify them properly without taking everything into consideration, being their injury history and people failing to perform in the playoffs a certain way. One thing that I feel bad that I didn't mention when I did that last Clippers video I made, there's certain times that I'll have stuff that I kind of just write down a sentence or I'll write down a few words. I'm like, oh yeah, this point here, say something about that and say something about that. I completely overlooked Chris Paul playing almost every game last season. But him doing that, that's him of all people too. But I don't see that. It's like I think it's not just enough to look at it on its own. Because you playing almost every single game on a team that isn't expected to contend, it's different when it's a team where you're expected to do shit, where there's now expectation on this one. Mentally and all of that. Mentals play a big role in how some of these things can shake out. Oh, Kyrie did a shoot around today? I think the Mavs are going to be fine in regular season, but they definitely going to do good in the playoffs. Yeah, I could see them doing good. Zion is about to blow, literally. What about the Detroit Commissioners? We had a stellar offseason, but we didn't make any real big moves and stuff. I think the big move that I'm expecting us to make or that I want us to make will probably come either during the season or before trade deadline, maybe even next season, the off season of next season. It's cooked for the Pelicans. Yeah, I feel bad for Pelicans. Cyrus, gambling on players and sports needs to stop. I wish I could throw it all in the garbage. I hate the whole ecosystem of it, that they've entrenched sports in this cesspool of nonsense. Earth Now says, Commissioner, have you seen the crazy things MPJ said on his podcast last week? Yeah, I heard some of them. Some people had said some of it. Like I tried to see, before I had internet problems, so that July, a good most of July, I had to deal with issues. Like I had to mainly make videos at night because of the temperature. And even at night, it was hot. It just wasn't as hot as during the day. And stuff would just overheat so much. So I said that it'd probably be a few weeks before I'm able to stream. But then the temperature, it finally smiled upon me. It was so beautiful to witness. I would just see, it was like 90, 91, 92, 93, just kept getting high. And then there were multiple weeks sometimes where it was consecutive 98 to 99 degree days. And I said, could you stop it? Please go down. And how is it that you stay at the same exact temperature every single day? And it was doing that. It was just, it was hell on earth in this house. Sleeping right next to a fan, and I am melting. And then one day it just changed. It just dropped. It dropped all the way from the high 90s to 80. And then from 80, it just stayed in the 70s. And it's been that way ever since. It's so beautiful. It's dipped down to the 60s a few times. Oh, yes. Oh, it's beautiful. Relief, salvation. Don't ever come back. It should never be over 80. Ever. Up here, at least. Ever. Basically, wherever I go, it should never be over 80. The sun needs to obey and submit. This is out of control. I could not deal. There's some people left some comments like someone in here has now said, was it Ethan? I can't remember. 100 degrees, Texas, and then some other Phoenix, 103. You can get that the hell out of here. Miss me with that. I would rather freeze to death than burn to death. Flying Haze. Yes, I do read the manga. I have another channel I talk about all that on. Wait, hold on. This is for, I was in the middle of making a video too that I'll be uploading. I tried to get it finished before I started this, but I'll have it uploaded in like an hour or two. I was talking about Marvel stuff, but yeah, I talk anime, movies, shows, and stuff on this other channel. I will leave a link. Look at that video right there. Yeah, Flying Haze, you can see the past 3 videos I did have been One Piece related, but I'm going to talk about some Marvel and then some other stuff. Just have a mix of some things. It's a bunch of nerdy-esque things all on there. So just anything concerning that. So movie, shows, and that. I'll be talking about disrespectful type moments and just funny fights and some other things and all that on there too. I just haven't been able to give that channel anywhere near as much as my full effort. But I want to make that channel similar to how my original channel was, because I have 3 channels, one of which is my original one, but that one's dead. because I moved from there and made this one, and now I made that one. I just wish YouTube wouldn't penalize you for making new channels, because when you make a new channel, you got to get remonetized all over again. So you could put a ton of effort and hours into something, and it pays off, and then you get used to a certain standard. Hey, now go over here and do this, and then have it not mean anything until everything builds up. It gets very irritating. It's like, it should just, wherever I go, it should just be monetized already. Oh, Boris, you remember the OG channel, so you're an early settler here, a pioneer. Thank you for being here. I wasn't doing YouTube the right way, though. Saving grace from there is taking everything I learned and did wrong there and applying it to this channel. Because I'm so scatterbrained because of a variety of reasons. I didn't even know if it was possible for me to just stick to one subject. When I was on that original channel, I was all like, just sticking to one thing. I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that. But now with basketball and sports related things, the only thing I want that I'll add to this channel is it'll just be more talking about kind of any sport, with the main linchpin being basketball, and then hip hop as well. So then just be that. Outside of that, it'll never be anything else on this channel. I mean, you may have a random one-off weird video that has nothing to do with sports or hip hop, maybe like once or twice a year, perhaps. But that's it. Like, I made a video on when Trump won the election. I made a video when he won, and that's the difference with some people. When they talk politics, they'll be trying to tell whoever watches and tunes into them, you should vote this way, you should think this way and that. I was just making fun of the whole situation. I was saying, I was like pointing out just some stuff in there, and that video did well. I was surprised. I had people subscribe to the channel who don't even watch. Well, that's for a lot of different things, but there were people who watched that Trump video and subbed just because they enjoyed the video. And then, even though I say I'm not talking politics or anything, it's just making light of the situation. It's just saying some funny stuff. I mean, having Megan Thee Stallion out here twerking for votes is it's just too unserious. The whole thing is a clown show anyway. It's a circus. But how the hell do you expect me to vote for you when you got somebody up there busting it open? Like, what am I supposed to do with that? These are serious issues. And we over here looking at this, like, and then you got like trotting out celebrities in general. I'm glad that these past 3 election cycles have essentially killed the importance of a celebrity in telling anybody what to do and how to live their lives and who to vote for. What the hell are you talking about? Vote for this person. Because why? You say so because they paid you to? You live in a completely different world set aside from us. You live in a bubble. Nothing that gets done by this person you want us to vote for does anything to you. And I think it's just disrespectful to voters. You have somebody come out here, let's get Eminem, let's get Beyonce, tell them to vote. I see what you're doing. It's just disingenuous. That's one of the reasons why Democrats lost. I grew up in a Democrat household. Still a registered Democrat too, but that some NBA players and too they got in there and so, but just don't be involved at any of it if you don't actually know and understand what it is that you're talking about or have some belief in it. Most of them will just include themselves just because they're getting paid to, for no other reason. They don't actually care. Top five favorite. Oh yeah, yeah. I could do top five favorite artists and top five hated artists. Yes, I can definitely do that. I can definitely. That top five would be very easy. Very easy. Was I would just have to organizing them would be I'd have to think about it because there's a lot of hatred to go around. Like Lil Nas X, he off the deep end now. He got himself into some trouble. That if this was a few years ago and I had this channel, he would probably be like number two, if not number one. Because the type of artist that he is, I don't fucks with. And it has nothing to do with his sexuality. I don't have a problem with his sexuality. I have a problem with him playing with religion. And then when people get mad that he played with religion, he gets mad at them because you made fun of some stuff. It's like, just don't do that. And he needed that in order to sustain his career. And when he tried it again, it just didn't hit the same because at some point, when you're a troll type person, you can only troll so much and be controversial enough to where you hit a wall where everything you do now is just people look like, I don't seen that before. I don't seen that before. Uh, what do you think about Micah Parsons getting traded to the Packers? Yeah, that I seen that was a big thing that happened. That was like the NFL equivalent, damn near, of Luka going to the Mavs. I wish I knew more about the ins and outs of football and just paid attention enough, because I would be making more NFL content, but I just haven't. I haven't, outside of just, I've made some NFL videos already, and a few of them have been on some other teams, but the bulk of them, I think I've made maybe 8 NFL videos in total, maybe less than that, and the bulk of them are Detroit Lions, and a couple of them have been something else, but I don't want to make a video on something and then not know the full story exactly, and then go in there and just jump in just because it's a hot topic when I don't know who it is I'm talking about. Like I'm not familiar enough with Micah Parsons. I've heard of him, but I don't follow him and I haven't seen him play enough. I haven't seen the impact he's had in some other things. So I felt making a video on it. It's like I can't even talk correctly, really. I don't know enough about it. Commissioner Lucas said, I don't like Taylor Swift. Yeah, Taylor Swift, I don't hate Taylor Swift, but her fans and just seeing her all over the place fills me with anger. And how on my original channel, because she's, in my opinion, she's overrated. I'll say as an artist, she's not saying that she isn't talented, because she has some songs I like. I have an expansive palette. I listen to a variety of individuals. But I got jumped badly by a bunch of Taylor Swift fans on a video I did on my original channel, and I didn't expect it to do even half of what it did, even 25% of what it did. I was just giving an opinion. But I gave an opinion in such a way that the Swifties were riled up because they couldn't attack me a certain way. Just like I made a video on Lil Nas X when he did that Montero nonsense, and I said how this video was bad. And then that video did really well for me back then. And there were a bunch of people jumping on me then, but they didn't know how to jump on me because I wasn't the obvious thing that they're used to jumping on. When Lil Nas X did that Montero video, I remember how YouTube looked in the search result. 90% of all reactions came from a standpoint of homophobia. And they're talking about a man doing this and that and stuff, and they made themselves very easy to attack. It's clear you don't like this certain group of people that live their lifestyles a certain way. I didn't even look at it that way because it doesn't bother me. I just looked at it as I hate it when artists feel as though they have to play with others' religion and insult an entire belief in order to sell records for a mid-ass song. And the Lil Nas X, they were like, well, I don't know how to, maybe you're homophobic. No. The Swifties, too. Whenever somebody complains about Taylor Swift, they'll always be like, you don't listen to her songs, you don't listen to her records, you don't listen to... It's like, I have consumed and listened to multiple Taylor albums. I have a few of her songs in the playlist. I actually like some of her songs. I even named them. I said, what thing has she done that wasn't a 1984? That now I think it's like, that wasn't that album that's worthy of her being put over everybody else. And for what? As I said, she can't sing better than anyone. She can't dance better than anyone. It's like this teeny bopper type of energy. This suburban 14, 13-year-old white girl crowd is what puts Taylor where she's at. And I don't see you as being like a Michael Jordan-esque type of artist if you only have 1 to 2 demographics that listen to you. Or like a Michael Jackson type artist. Everybody listen to Michael Jackson. And Swifties will be deluded in their thinking with some stuff. It's like, Michael Jackson is known in Mongolia. He's known in some villages in Africa. He was made the king of a certain thing for a brief period in time. It's like, no, there's no comparison. Lopenny Zen, I may get you some new headphones next month. Oh, well, thank you for that. You don't have to go and do nothing on my account, really. It's just there hasn't been room in my budget for anything outside of necessity, so this is just taking a backseat. Like anything gaming related, because I don't play enough games anymore anyway, outside of just the 1 or 2 that I play, and it's not every day. But YouTube consumes most of all my internet related type time. Whenever I'm not trying to, I can't even relax with how some stuff is, but any time that isn't me doing stuff related for just grandma or little brother or just stuff like that is just devoted into YouTube and trying to figure some stuff out. Eric Johnson, how are you doing? He's another pioneer. Eric Johnson has been here since the ancient days, my original channel. And that Travis thing is crazy. When because they got engaged, I was like, damn it. It's like seeing them, the ESPN goes out of their way to talk about her and him. Just over and over. It's just like, I see what you're doing. I see what the NFL and them is doing. This is such a business opportunity for them to open up to a whole new audience, but this audience isn't worth opening up to because they don't follow football. They never will follow football outside of the Chiefs and mainly Travis Kelce. I don't even think they know who Patrick Mahomes is. They're just like the guy that passes it to Travis. These fans aren't worth keeping because they don't care. They're like Travis Kelce's jerseys. They went up like 100 or 200% since being with it. That's it. That's all. He's the only person that will benefit from this. Oh, well, and the Chiefs, just because they have to watch Chief games in order to see him play, and the refs with the favoritism to the Chiefs. All these little things they get away with. To see their downfall in the Super Bowl was been beautiful. Or not the Super, but yeah, to just see that, yeah. I wanted it to be by Detroit's hands. Make a Patreon. I have a Patreon, I just don't. I always forget. I don't advertise it properly. I've had a Patreon for quite some time too. It just uh 1 second. That's I'll leave a link to Patreon right here for anyone who wants to support, but I need to mention it in the videos and stuff. I put it in the description of a lot of the videos that I do now, or all my other social media type links, but I don't say it in the video because sometimes what's being said and done in the video, it just breaks immersion. I'll make some a certain way and then I say, "Oh, you're stopped to do this and that." It's like, but I need to do that. I even have just the merch of Draymond that I forgot to mention in a video hating on Draymond in the top 5 most hated players. That would have been a good time to do it. I completely forget about the merch. Maybe for the NBA's trash sequel thing, I'll try to put it in a certain section of the video that makes sense. The good. I read what Mike just said, and he said, "The good goober, you're gonna get kicked for that." And I say, "Well, what'd he say?" I thought he insulted Doja, but he said something just as bad. Draymond is MVP, please. In the Mule Olympics, yeah, maybe. In WWE, he can maybe be Universal Champion. But in basketball, no. Can't stand him. If he pisses me off again this season, it's not too much more I can take from him. These past playoffs, he was... The fact that he didn't get ejected one time in these playoffs is ridiculous. He should have been kicked out 3 ways to Sunday, to where by the time he arrives on Sunday, it's Tuesday. And they just refused. That man was averaging like 1 nutsack kick per game, damn near. 1 neck roll and 1 vertebrae snap every single game. And they don't do nothing to him. This favoritism. And it's not even favoritism. They just don't want to bully him, so they keep him in the game. Because he'd be getting picked on if he gets kicked. And then afterward, he said, "This narrative of making me feel like an angry black man or pointing me out to be that is, I'm tired of it." But because you are. You are. You being black has nothing to do with it. One block, mine to another. It has nothing to do with it. You are just an unhinged individual. I couldn't not put him at number 1 in the top 5 most hated video. He's infuriated me in so many different ways. Ben Simmons would have been 1, but I think when I first started the channel, Ben Simmons was number 1. And then Harden started to act up. And then the highest Harden got was number 2. And then Draymond wasn't even in the top 10. I think Draymond was like, I don't even know if I even hated Draymond. I mean, there were things done, but I didn't pay attention, really. And then it was all at once. It was just over and over and over. He went all the way from not being on any type of list where I hated players to number 2 to number 1. Massive jump. That's a hit single. You ever see someone have a hit single like that? You debut at number 2? That is ridiculous. I ain't seen a player since that's done that. And he's, ever since he passed up Ben Simmons, he stayed there firmly at number 1. He's held serve. I haven't been able to take him down from number 1. Everyone under him, though, has fluctuated. Harden, at his worst, used to be 2. Yeah, like he went to 2. Then he went down to 3 below Ben Simmons. Then he just kind of stayed at 3. Then he went down some more because some other one. Then he went back up to 3. Jordan in there. K deserves a ring. That he does. That he does. Butler did work while Curry was out. Jordan in there. Yeah, he did, but I'm just not a fan of how he got to Golden State. It's just not an admirable state of affairs in which his being there and how it went. Not excusing Pat Riley for his lack of action and not surrounding Jimmy with better talent, which he had more than one opportunity to do so. He had numerous. But Pat Riley being useless and Jimmy being spoiled can both be true, and they are. I'm a fan of no player leaving an organization in that fashion. There are too many people that they look at that and they think that's normal. Scottie Pippen did that same thing. He was probably one of the first players to do that, where he did that back in the day where he was grossly underpaid, which was his own fault because he signed a contract trying to get money quicker or like looking for the immediacy of the money because of his circumstances surrounding, I think, his father and then the precariousness of his family situation, to where I understood why he signed it. But when you have the general manager and the owner of the team telling you not to sign this, they don't think it's wise, and you sign it anyway, then you complain a few years later. I told you not to sign. It's like, how bad for you can I feel? And then he proceeded to sit and say, oh, I'm not going to do this, and I want to be traded, I want to be this and that. That's probably the first instance of a tantrum, of a stupid ass tantrum. And people are so much worse than that now. Players are so much more infinitely worse than that. Because at least you could look to why Scotty was doing what he was doing and understand it somewhat. People could relate to that. This here, there's nothing to relate to any of these people. Scotty was doing that and signed his contract because he wasn't, it's just the future and just being a professional athlete. That you just don't know. Your next game could be your last. You could fall a certain way and then what? You don't have anything. You don't have ways to financially sustain your family, especially back then at the time when players weren't getting paid even 25% as much as they get paid now. I get why you signed it. It's not smart, but I understand it. Now we've gone from caring about one's family and securing them to, I want to see me get my happiness back from basketball while I date Shakira, to I want to leave because I don't like this city. I want to leave because I want a ring. I want to leave. Well, you won't let me leave. Let me get fat on purpose to get out of here. Like that's all that's here now. Bunch of nonsense. Commish top 5 foods. I want to see if your food takes are good. That one, that's more of a, I have a small variety of food that I eat due to mainly not having the means to get more of certain foods that I like. But I really like steak. Steak is probably in my top 5 favorites. If I could afford to eat steak, I haven't had a steak in a year almost. Stuff like that, shrimp or lobster and stuff like that. I haven't had any of that in a while. I really don't eat anything special. It's just been, I get like grandma and stuff be making like the standard type thing, like things that's easy to afford. You go out and get things being chicken, broccoli, rice, chicken, macaroni, and this. Yes, steak is good. And then I when some years back, and then I go and hear for, because it's like you hear things sometimes, but then you don't really just pay attention to it until a little bit. Be like, you get gout from eating too much steak. What the hell can you even do in this server? Whoever built this life server, man, like I need to have a word with the man upstairs. Cause how he has this game orchestrated, it's like you can't do shit without getting penalized in some way. It's like you can't eat steak? Not as much as you'd like anyway. It's like, it's always some little. Can a franchise force a player to retire? Jordan in there says. It's kind of what the Lakers are doing with LeBron, but in a way, not exactly. But this will be his last season there as a Laker, if anything. And they said, I mean, after that, you could whatever but you ain't gonna still be here. See, even though I don't know how what LeBron is always for the past few years now he's made it this game of saying, will I retire, won't I, will he, won't he type thing, and it's been he's used it to just play the media type of schmoozing type whatever. But if he does retire, there will be I mean, he's going to retire, but when that happens to be, and when it occurs, it will be, it'll be something that shifts the way one consumes basketball in a way, because he's just been such a fixture for so long, and then to not have him here, league reasons are, I think the NBA will suffer from the effects of him leaving because they just don't have that definitive type of face. They don't have that player that's there to fill the void. And the people who truly despise LeBron, and I mean just outwardly hate him, want him in jail in some respects, even wish ill will upon him, they will miss him too, even though they don't want to admit it, because they need him to give them life. Because outside of criticizing him and being mostly just irritated to frustrated to disliking him, I've never been able to really cross that fence into unmitigated hatred for him. Because it's like with every bad thing you say about LeBron, well, it's kind of what, and he's done himself no favors. It's every good thing you say about him can be accompanied with two bad things, or maybe one bad thing and one not so good thing. And as many people like LeBron, there's probably as many people that don't like him, where it's just a solid 50-50, or maybe a little even more than that. But it's never been a place of anger and hatred, really, that I've seen it from. Well, no, he has made me angry, but just not outwardly hating him. Because it's just the way he acts. It's just certain things that I don't find respectable in an individual, and it would just piss me off, even if it was a friend of mine doing it to others, like him walking off the court with seconds left. Sometimes it'll almost be a minute left in a game and he go walk off the court. I'm just like, you unsportsman bastard. Like, get back here. Like that, they gave Isaiah Thomas so much grief for that back in the day. Rightfully so. And this man does it every other game. Oh, hello there. Hey, thank you very much, Hales. I don't know if you'd make a video on it, but as a hockey fan, I'd like to see your view on the cold, unwritten rules of hockey, aka why fighting is allowed. If they were implemented in the NBA, not advocating full fist fights on the court, just something adjacent to get a streak. Hey, thank you so very much for your amazing generosity. I definitely not only need something like that, but very much appreciate your being here. Thank you so much for that. A hockey video on something like that. If I were more familiar with it, I need to get more familiar in other sports too, but hockey is one of those as well, or not be more in tune with it. But that is an interesting video idea. If they were implemented in the NBA, not full fist fights was record. Yeah, I would. The NBA implementing any type of fights like that, what, like you said, not full on type thing, but just allowing emotions to rise and then do that. That would be something that I think would do the league more good than harm. It's funny because in the 70s, they had too many fights. And it was more of a wild, wild west type league. Now the fights, they'll happen, but most of them, they get treated differently than when they're in the playoffs and the regular season. And sometimes they'll be kicking players out that I believe shouldn't be kicked out for some little tiff. Let people get mad, let people get angry, let emotions rise, let stuff boil over. That makes great television on top of a great game. But that's some of what that I'll be talking about in the sequel NBA rant video, because you aren't allowed to express yourself as a player really anymore. We had so many great, amazing, timeless moments from back in the day that were as a result of antagonizing and teasing and trash talk, and we don't have those now. And when a player does exhibit any type of emotion, they have to emote towards the audience, and they get a tech for it sometimes. Even then, you can't do that. Dynamo, are you using Stream East this NBA season? Commissioner Lucas said, oh yeah, that's another thing that will be in the video I make. All these streaming sites, like all of that, like very anti-consumer. I took a screenshot of how that thing look. You got Peacock, you got this, and that. It's like, y'all go out of your way to make people want to pirate footage and stuff, like just not to look at it illegally. Why the hell would you pay all this money to watch a team with star players that be load managing, shooting a bunch of threes and stuff? Like, why would I want a streaming service to tune in for that with watered down entertainment? Why are you bringing up Jordan if he's a good? Yeah, Josh is. That's what they do a lot. But I do see a lot of, whenever it's a LeBron anything or a Jordan anything, if I really think about it, which one happens more? I see it happen so much on social media that it's damn near assured whenever one is brought up, the other one gets brought up. And it'll be of fans of both sides, and it's very annoying. I will understand sometimes of LeBron fans jumping on Jordan's type of one. Jordan's fan base is kind of similar to Kendrick's fan base. It's got this type of cult that's around it, but it's also understandable. If it was making a big deal about somebody that wasn't worth it or that was somewhat overrated, then I'd be like, yeah, that's a little whatever, which I'd say some of the worst LeBron fans are. But if it's someone who's near undeniable in every single category within reason, I say, well, yeah, I can see why this person has a cult following, but you shouldn't always just treat the other side with immediate hostility. Because if you do that, you then make that other side want to be hostile towards you and others like you. And it just really doesn't help the overall conversation. Because I see YouTube arguments are like in the comments every other time. ESPN will post something about LeBron, and I guarantee you there will be somebody who brings up Jordan, and then there's like a 10 to 15 comment thread argument. But then they'll be mad and say, all ESPN does is try to find a way to talk about LeBron. But that's what you're doing. That's what people want and like. What irritates me is people tuning in to the thing that they claim to not want to see, but yet they're the main purveyors of it. Like they supply the damn UPS truck turned the corner and almost blinded me. God. Simply Snag say I have 2K26. Hell no. Sticking the, I got 25 for $20 when it was on sale. I'll stick to that. If I play that on stream and with friends, I do that. But that other stuff, like Thank you very much, Walter, for the donation. Don't even follow sports, but love your channel. That's been my goal. I've been hoping that I can at least get even people who may not follow closely, make things entertaining enough to where it can appeal to not just sports fans, but those who may be on the outside. Even if somebody disagrees with me, if they can leave the video and say, I was thoroughly entertained by what I saw, even though I disagree, I'd be like, hey, that's my lot in life. That's my prerogative. So thank you very much, Walter. Walter, we need to cook, Walter. Ha! Ha! I see what you did there, Fahim. I see that. Oh, what Billy Hunter, he said something about Doja. Oh, we'll have to see this. Commissioner, do you prefer Doja Cat when she had long hair or short hair version today? It don't matter. It don't matter. Either one. I didn't have a problem with her shaving her head off, like her hair. I had a problem with her losing the amount of weight that she did. Certain things are non-negotiable. Had I had been there and been in charge, these things would not occur. These things cannot happen. You want to shave your hair and be bald? Fine. Some women can pull that off amazingly. And it'd be like, fine, that don't make me no difference. You want to shave your eyebrows? I'm like, but it's whatever. Losing weight, losing your thickage, no, we can't have that. And she went and she lost too much of that. Say, oh, hell, this cannot be. This simply won't do. That Doja that did that Juicy video, or just a Moo video, prime Doja. That's MVP. That's Wilt Chamberlain numbers. That's Jordan 96, 97. No, that's Jordan 91, 92. Commissioner Luka Doja Cat is not mid. Tell him. Tell him. Would you still love her if she was a worm? A worm. If I were to ever be asked that question by a girl, say, "Would you love me as I was born?" Hell no, you're a worm. You be digging around in dirt and stuff. Like you have no spine. No. No, I wouldn't love your ass if you were a worm. If you get mad about that, what we even getting upset for? You act like you about to turn into a worm. Can you shapeshift? If you can shapeshift, just don't pick that form. Hell no, I ain't gonna love you, yo, some worm. Get out of here. Get your worm face out of here. To be honest with some of them. Nah. What am I gonna do with a worm? The hell am I supposed to do that? I would get mad. I would be like, why would you do that to me? Why would you, of all things to pick, you pick a worm? Make me look stupid. We go out to a restaurant. I got you at the table. There's a worm at the table eating on the other side. I look dumb as hell. They kick me out. Couldn't go nowhere. Couldn't do shit. And then if we out somewhere eating, we can't even go outside. A bird would come and get you. Yeah, you stupid now, huh? I can't do nothing from down here. Should have thought about that. But no, you wanted to be a worm. Now you a worm inside a bird's belly. Out of here with that. I would give me. I tell her, don't you ever ask me that question. Ask me something like that. Would you love Doja if she was 40? Of course. Yeah. If she was a reptilian shapeshifter, I can work with that. I mean, just don't shedding skin and all that. I mean, like have a particular room in which you shed, and then try to keep your lizardry to yourself sometimes. But yeah, I deal with that. Oh, thank you very much, Jordan, in there for the donation. I think LeBron and his fans, as his career coming to a close, are struggling to admit that he didn't accomplish that of the Ghost of Chicago. 0 3-peats. Yeah. And of all the main of like the great players that we've seen, he's the only one that hasn't won multiple with his team. Like you think of Larry winning multiple with his team, Magic winning as many times as he did, or like winning 3, or like just having that 3 that like you went somewhere else to do that, and even there you failed to accomplish that 3 type thing, because with the Mavericks, like he exceeded expectations, I think, for just his career and what somebody would look at him and see as reasonable. He exceeded them, because I don't think it's just him making it a point to say he's chasing the ghost in Chicago. When you say that, people hold you to that accord. And when you don't attain the same things or the same hardware that he did, you just didn't accomplish that. You did all these other great things, but still. Thank you very much, TLG, for the donation. Goat. Are you saying goat? Are they both goats? Or are you calling me a goat? I don't know, but I thank you very much for your donation nonetheless. And to the other 3 of you, being Jordan in there, Walter, and especially Hayos, with such a marvelous display of of generosity. Thank all four of you. Would you put Curry over LeBron? No, I wouldn't do that. In terms of wow factor, of having that magical type of feeling, then yeah, like Curry, he just shifted the paradigm of just something. Like Curry is just more entertaining to watch in a way, and it's not, and that's with me being irritated with 3-pointers, much to everybody's chagrin now, with the 3-pointer watering down and taking over so much of the game. When Curry's doing it, it's just different, and how he does it is different. How he plays and how he maneuvers his way through defense, and how quick he shoots, and just him running off ball and all of that. Like that, all of that has just been so entertaining, and it's been a thrill to watch. And how before Curry, there was never that preemptive player that when someone shoots a 3-pointer, you think of that player. Despite having people like a Ray Allen and having people that's just been up there shooting threes, he's that guy. You think a 3-pointer, you think of Curry. It's just synonymous with him. Just like when you thought of dunking, and like you would think of Jordan, like you would think of it's LeBron hasn't reached a type of thing like that. I mean, you could look no further than the NBA itself, where they've given out awards with players' names on them. East and West champions, Larry Bird and Magic respectively, MVP, Jordan's trophy. You got all these things, and LeBron doesn't have a trophy named after him because he's just had sustained greatness, but here's not that one thing that just jumps out to you when it comes to LeBron, to where it transcends basketball. Commissioner Luca says, I'm not a Bron stan, but he did face harder opponents. That I do agree with you. Yes. That's a video too that I need to make. I need to make it a point to state how Jordan had, or at least LeBron faced harder competition in certain subsects of the game or where he's at. LeBron faced harder finals competition. Jordan faced harder playoff competition leading up to the finals. Jordan had to beat Hall of Fame teams in order to even get there. LeBron walked across like a wheat field of nonsense, of like ridiculousness. There was barely any teams that had high level records were just because you're in the East. And they make such a big deal about him taking the Cavaliers to the Spurs and seeing that. Now, when him going up against the Pistons, though, that was probably one of the only real tough bouts that I say he faced in his lead up to the finals. All these other ones, like that Hawks team that has 60 plus wins, and all these other ones, it's just because you're in the East. Mostly it's because you're in the East. These weren't bad teams, but I think that they were overrated to an extent. Jordan's finals competition is just these were great teams, but they weren't what LeBron had to face, and being with the Spurs, being with the Warriors, and the thing. It's like, yeah, I get that. But so it's like they have the inverse of each other's things. Jordan had to go through damn Celtics at one point, but then luckily for him, like just things transpiring the way, he had to deal with the Pistons, had to deal with the Pacers, had to deal with the Knicks. These teams was just like very physical and all that stuff. Like they had way more difficulty. The most difficult year LeBron had in going to the finals was probably 2018, and then there's like one other year. every other year, I won't say it was a cakewalk, but it's probably like a something easier for cupcake. I don't know. It's like a easier than cake, or not as easy as cake. Uh, uh, I don't know. I can't think right now. I tried to be witty. Commissioner Lucas says Brown's 2016 ring is the best ring out of him and Jordan. I'd say just because of the level of near impossible that was and coming back 3-1, I could understand them saying that. And the competition being what it was, yeah, I can get what I think I may agree on that. 2016 has done a lot to keep LeBron in these conversations, some of which he doesn't really. It's like him being placed in. It's kind of like you raise your eyebrow at. If you were to get rid of 2016, his whole claim to anything changes drastically. You could get rid of 2 rings from Jordan and then it's not too big of a shift. But that 2016 ring, that's his everything. He could LeBron could have not won on the Lakers and still have 3 rings now and still be called a rival to Jordan. If not, they'd still be calling him GOAT with just that 2016 ring. You may even get some loonies if he didn't win in Miami, but probably once. So he'd have 2 rings. They'd still be just that's how powerful that 2016 ring is. If you got rid of that 2016 ring and had the 2 from Miami and the 1 from the Lakers, his resume and all that wouldn't hit the same way. 2016 is literally everything when it comes to him. Josh Johnson says, Commish, if Tracy McGrady never dealt with injuries, what would you think how great he could be? I think he definitely had more success, but I think he, like some other players, they go and they see their career in retrospect, that they can no longer add to the canvas, that they want to now downplay other players, like he's been doing with Kobe and some of the other ones. Like, that's annoying as hell to hear people like Jeff Teague and all that over here talking about, oh, so-and-so, like Kobe wasn't guarding like that. I made a video for members to watch on the Kobe disrespect, but I wanted to make a full-on video for it. It may be too late to do it. I don't know. I might. But hear Jeff Teague talk about Kobe wasn't guarding like that. It's like, who even are you? People that haven't accomplished 2 to 3% of what an individual has, and then they want to go and downplay him and things and just say wrong things. It'd be different if he says something that made sense, but it's like, nah, you just, like, what are we even talking about? It's never from a position of power or authority you hear some people talk. You don't hear people who are comfortable and satisfied with their career saying some nonsense like that. It's all these krill and barnacles, a bunch of sea dwellers, crustaceans talking about some shit that they ain't never even snuff, can't even dream of. It's like, who are you talking to? What you talking about? Simply Snag says, you think in our lifetime we will ever get Wilt's 100-point game? I think it's possible. Like didn't yeah Devin Booker he had 70 something. Now I can't remember what he had scored. And you had Luca had 70 something. The only reason why I think it wouldn't happen would be if the player just gets taken out the game, because the way the game functions now is different. I've seen players get a high point total and they could have kept going and there was a whole quarter left, but then the coach just sits them. So if we don't see it, I think it's mainly just because of that. People so scared about getting injured. There's so much load management all over the place. They'd be like, yeah, no, just sit down. It's like, well, but I'm hot right now. I got a lot more in me. Sit down. Is what they'd say. Uh, LeBron couldn't win 3 rings with one team, much less a three-peat. Jordan did both twice. Yeah, that's one of the things I hold against him. Great point too. Imagine being LeBron and doing LeBron type things and creating your team and having say so and who's on your team, and you leaving and stacking the deck and you still can't three-peat and you still don't have the same career. Like if LeBron, if he like technically, if we're really talking, like there's two things. 2015 I somewhat excuse him for a little, because Kyrie not being there, and then stupid ass Kelly Olynyk taking Kevin Love's arm out of socket so Kevin Love wasn't there. And so, yeah, but you still took the Warriors 6 games. It's not like that series was unwinnable. It's not like that was an uncompetitive series. It was possible. I give you somewhat of an excuse for that, though. But, never, for you to the deck stack like that and still not as much. Like, you had advantages that Jordan never had in terms of personnel. And the longer LeBron plays, the worse that looks in the comparison to Jordan. Because I remember at one point they were saying how LeBron has never had someone as reliable and all that as Scottie Pippen, as the Jordan. Or he hasn't had as many help. Look at all the Hall of Famers Jordan had. And that was like around second to third year of him being in Miami, or a little bit after that. Now you can't say that. Now look at all the Hall of Famers and stuff that LeBron done played with. Look at all these All-Stars and all this top quality help LeBron has had, and still had these losing efforts and some of these meltdowns. In the Discord server, there were some people debating some LeBron related type things, and and people forget how he kind of just quit on his team in 2018 when he goes all of that, like a phenomenal, that 2018 run, that was that I didn't have him winning any of those games against any of those teams, and he went all the way and went the distance. That was one of the best individual showings in the playoffs I've ever seen any player. But when he gets to the finals, yeah, J.R. Smith is a blockhead. But after that gets done, he just quit. I think he scored maybe 2 points. Maybe not even that I can remember. He disappeared. He didn't want to play no more. He acted like they just lost the game. It's like the game is still winnable. And he just didn't want to be there. Like that type of stuff there is what I'm talking about. Then he go appear later. He got that cast and some stuff. It's like, okay, yeah. Someone in the Discord said Larry Bird is better than LeBron. No. If we're talking about passing it to somebody for the last shot, then yeah, I would pick Larry Bird over LeBron any day. In my sleep. But these other things, though, like, no, let's not do that. If Bron won 4 straight rings with the Heat, he would be an undeniable GOAT, Commissioner Lucas says. I don't think I don't think people would be saying that. I think because they'd still see it as him building a super team and winning with that. He's kind of like LeBron he was trapped the instant he set foot on that roster. He's in a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. If you win too much, you stack the deck. You made a Monstars team. Fuck you. If you lose, you made a Monstars team and still lost. Fuck you. There's nothing you can really do. So if he won a lot, they'd be like, you only got all those rings because you went and created this. It's not like it was a spontaneous creation or done through the draft or through team building like the Warriors, other than Durant's being there. So I think people would still question and wouldn't give him that. I think there would probably be more people that would say, yeah, he was but I think it wouldn't be a universal belief that he would be GOAT after that. Just think if Kevin Durant never went to the Warriors, you could potentially see, I think Kyrie probably still leaves after 2017. But LeBron would get 2 back-to-back. I mean, if you want to count, I feel like the Warriors and the Cavs switched championships. Because it's like Cavaliers had better advantages to win it in 2015 had it not been for Kyrie and Kevin Love's absence, and probably could have won it most likely. And then in 2016, Warriors would have won it, but then all that happened. And it's kind of like they switched championships. Like how KD's legacy was killed the day he joined the Warriors. Yeah, he can't really recover from that. He'll always be an NBA champion, NBA Finals MVP winner, but we forever look at you as a guy that made one of the weakest moves, like the weakest move ever. And if I can't beat them, join them. Won and then got unhappy there and left and haven't won since. Durant he absolutely needed to win somewhere else in order to wipe some of that. He could have just won 1 ring somewhere else. It would have wiped a lot, not all of what he did, but people would have looked on him in a different light had he won another one. It's all like, well, yeah, and then they would have still been blaming Westbrook for Durant's inability when he was on the Thunder. But you not winning and you team hopped all these time, it just doesn't look good. And those Warriors years were not good. Like, those were just not entertaining. When Durant was on the team, very boring. Seeing them play alongside each other, seeing Curry, Clay, and Durant, yeah, that's interesting. But after that wore off quick for me. It just became beating up on everybody and uncompetitive, and it's a foregone conclusion, more so than almost any point in NBA history, who would be in the finals. Weak ass East, Swiss cheese SpongeBob East with LeBron coming out of it, and then a West that can't do nothing with the Warriors. So it just be Cavs Warriors, Cavs Warriors, Cavs Warriors. Ugh. I was so happy when that era ended. Very uninteresting. I couldn't even imagine having a basketball channel then, or having a channel having anything to do with talking hoops and pretend to be interested in that. When year to year, I gotta somehow be happy and be like, I wonder who's gonna win. Nobody has a chance. Absolutely nobody. And the only ones that did flamed out tremendously, being the Rockets with Harden and like shooting themselves out. Like, where they missed like 20 some threes in a row or more. Locked in Kawhi is one of my favorite players. Can I be frank? Hey, don't talk about my Warriors. Yeah, I just couldn't with that Cavalier and Warrior spam year to year to year. That's not even a rivalry. That's on the video too. That's like 3-4 videos I want to make. Cavaliers and Warriors, I would not call that a rivalry. It ceased being a rivalry the instant Durant got there. When Durant got there, that just ruined everything. It just turned into a scheduled ass whooping. Healthy Kawhi was something else. Yeah, like when he came back into the game, he was on the Spurs and LeBron was on Miami and he at the free throw line and he see Kawhi, he's like, fuck, he coming back. Yeah, I may have a video maybe later today. I have one on this channel, and then on the other one I'm like 90% finished with one for anime movie show channel. I'm 90% finished with one that I'll upload. So yeah, maybe 2 videos today, and then I may have another one for tomorrow for this one. And I'll still be in the background working on the NBA rant sequel thing. Hello, Penny Zen. Can I 3-pointer use some new headphones? I don't watch sports. Yet new headphones would be nice at this current date and time. These have been looking like this for a couple months, but they still work. They just look bad. I don't even know how things get to this extent. I take care of my technological things. I put them down in a certain way and all that. And it's just funny how years will go by and then stuff will turn into this, as if I had been hitting it up against a wall or stepping on it. It's like, I don't get that. I have a vid coming out maybe today, commish tempting the YouTube censorship guys with hubris. They shouldn't have any problem with the video that I may make today. But that big one, that video, I mean, I don't want to, it's looking like it may be close to 30 minutes at this point from everything that I have on it, but it's just constant. And originally, I ended up I accidentally deleted one of the original versions I had that was a few weeks ago, which was debilitating, just mentally draining, just accidentally deleting that and then looking for it and being unable to find it. But I like this second version better, but the second version has things in there that I don't want to do away with. And I'll be very creatively upset if I have to remove some stuff. And then there's also just the fear that I upload it and then they still hit me with something, but they don't say anything while it's on private sitting there. Because I've had plenty of videos, even on the original channel, where they say everything is 100%, there's nothing wrong with it. I upload it and it does really well for the first few hours, and then out of nowhere some nonsense comes. And I most likely, I would probably just keep it up there, because I'm not going to take it down and then try to re-upload it, because then getting people to then be interested to see a video that they've already seen, and then it's just not going to, you can't get the same initial reaction. Video would just fail immediately. Are you watching college football, ladies man? 2187. No, I haven't been following, especially the college. I've been starting to try to get more into some things, but I know I've just never really been into it. And your name, I know what that name. That's Transformers. Are you ladies man 21? Two? Was it 2187 or was it 217? I don't know if you. I think it was ladies man 217. This goat debate thing wouldn't even really be a thing if Jordan hadn't taken off time different. Oh, but then some say maybe that helped him because they say like Hakeem and the Rockets, that would be a bad matchup for the Bulls. And they also say that about the Spurs. They said if he decided to play or stay for like 99 facing the Spurs, bad matchup on center because you got to deal with Tim Duncan and David Robinson. But that was a lockout shortened season, so I think that would help them like rejuvenate the Bulls because they are on the older end. So you could have had 7, could have had 8, arguably. And that's just that he never lost. So then it gives people that inclination to think that he could have done this because they have no reason to think otherwise. We've never seen him fail. Yeah, Jordan not taking a break. Folks wouldn't so quickly dismiss his getting stomped by Baby Shaq. Yeah. I remember seeing how Shaq was saying when he was playing against Jordan a particular game and Jordan got free and was running towards him and Jordan was about to dunk on him, and then he said that would have been a highlight forever. Would have been everywhere, so you're not about to dunk on me. But I can't have him dunk him. He grabbed him and then kind of threw him to the ground a little, or just kind of bumped him bad. And Jordan fell and kind of got hurt a little, and then he just said he tried to go up to him. Then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it." And then Jordan's like, "No, don't apologize." He said, I would have done the same thing. So he ain't about to dunk on me. Draymond had said something back when I didn't despise him. He said something that was funny when Dennis Smith Jr. tried to dunk on him and then he blocked him bad, and I think they called that as a foul. But Dennis Smith Jr. having the audacity to even attempt, and Draymond got up there and blocked it, and then after the game they was all like, "Oh, you had an exchange with Dennis Smith Jr. Did you tell me?" And then he was all like, "Not about to dunk on me. Better luck next time." Like I found that funny. He said like, "Well," he said, "What else did you say?" He said, "Well, what if next time?" He's like, "Never, never, never." And he's just straight up telling him, he's all like, "You will never dunk on me, never." What is that symbol? Oh. When did this get copyright? Shouldn't. Because of history. Yeah, he's too much of a flight risk. It's too dirty. Hmm. 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 I guess I'll pick original. Susie. Ha ha ha, I see they're loping these in. My favorite character is Carrot. Why couldn't she join the crew? Like, in order of anger, her is like my first level of anger and not joining. Then the Yamato thing, that's like top anger. And I need Bonnie to join. Makes sense. Backstory, the camaraderie with the crew and everything is there. Make it happen. Oda be playing too damn much with my emotions. I'm sick of it. That Yamato thing, like being edged for years. Just for her to say, oh no, I'm not going to join because Oden did this. Shut up. That was the only thing that could have saved her character. Now you're just a bad character. Because you never got redeemed. This Death Note. Death Note? No. This is One Piece. My life. First, I don't be knowing sometimes that sometimes people ask someone, so like, what? I need that. Yeah, sure. Give it that. Madden 2026. 20. Never. I wouldn't be caught. I wouldn't be caught in the afterlife playing that. I was slightly interested in playing Madden 2, when I first started getting back into football, like a year or two ago, only to check in and see Madden is the same doo-doo that it's always been. I said, yep, they didn't even have refs in one of the games. Like, there was no ref on the sideline. Y'all can't afford to put a ref in there moving and doing anything? Like, trash. Vector Z, yes, I do stream. How are you doing today? Yamato is barely in the manga. That was the only redeeming thing that was going for her character. If Oda would have just had her join. I mean, Oda would have had her join. But now you're just this character with this false identity that you don't have anything that's really remarkable about you. Her character design looks great. I was like, just detail and effort was high levels of detail and effort was put into her character design. I said that is not a side character's design. That is a main character's design. So she should be joining. She heard Luffy's dream. Everyone who hears Luffy's dream, at least for the most part, it's like, how you go hear his dream, his true dream, and then not join? Oda, that affected me in real life when I found out about that. That was soul crushing. I was devastated. We was in that damn boo-boo arc for over 4 years, and I thought I'd get something to write home about it for, that I could be like, oh, at least we got that. Nope. Oh, Vector Z. I can't talk. Vector Z. That's good to hear. Glad to hear you are doing well. Hale says, need to do an hour-long rant on 2K like Angry Joe does with Madden. Oh yeah, Angry Joe, I remember when I first subbed to him. he's a legendary figure. He had a time that he was kind of acting up for a little bit, but that original or just him, he was funnier back then though. But he still got the thing, like his whole setup and how he reviewed those games. There was nobody like him. He was unlike anybody. He had domineering power in the review game. You had normal ass reviews of some other games of people just have the game playing and they say something. You had IGN and all that. Then you had him. He had a full on green screen with it playing in the background, but he has his headquarters, and then he even has the props. He does the intro thing. Amazing content creator. Some of his, I come across some of his, I'm not subbed to him on this channel, but on my original channel, where he's got some videos I go back and look at. If there's a certain amount of time that goes by, I was like, I gotta look at this. It's been some time since I last saw this. Look at me, I'm too big, too strong. Original channel. Oh yeah, you didn't know this isn't my first channel. This basketball channel is my second channel. But I don't use the original one yet. It was not built properly, and I ended up deading it. I could probably upload some right there now and probably barely struggle to get like 40, 50 views or something. It's been a year or 2 years almost since I uploaded something. So much power. Oh, Dragoon. I shouldn't go Dragon already, but look at this attack, so much power. I can't be stopped. Why can't I do that today? Look at that. One hit. Get out of here, boa. Luffy can't save you. Look at that. I hope one day, I wanted them to just combine both his forms. Like, I want to be able to switch between both. I don't like how in fighting games there's multiple people. Who you think you are, Big Mom? Get the fuck out of here! Raimi Hockey! Shanks think he could do something. Not today, buddy. I'll call your brother on you. When I saw Big Man kind of team, I thought that shit were cooked. They really should have been. That whole Wano arc was just not done properly. I made multiple rants about that on my original channel. One of them did very, very well. Almost got 100,000. I'm gonna go sleep. See you. See you. Thank you for tuning in, Fahim.
おとなしく引っ込んでろ。俺と組むだけの実力はあるんだろうな。手組んでやってもいいぜ。俺の足を引っ張らないで。
Peace out, all. See you later, Walter. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out. Rayquaza, haha. Play Fortnite next. Yeah, only reason I'm not in the best of moods at the moment, so Fortnite type of things will piss me off. I'll play it if I stream or something tomorrow or something. I'll play it, or the next time I play, the very next time I stream, I'll be streaming, and I'll have Fortnite. It's been a while since I played. I'll be inviting, or I might, depending on how some stuff is, I'll invite those who are watching if they want to play. We can acquire dubs and dominate the lobbies together. One hit. Well, not really, but close. Kobe, you ain't no Kobe. One Piece Odyssey. I gotta try that. Look at that. Ugh, such destruction. Ugh. Freeze. I'm too powerful. You're done. Unlimited power. Form is cool as fuck. I wish PlayStation would update how things get done streaming wise, because if I want to play another game and stream, I have to cancel the stream and then start a new one. Just dumb. All these years and that's been the same. And PlayStation's app for voice stuff is garbage too. Basic things never get fixed. I'm surprised you weren't playing Civ 7. I thought about playing it before I got on. Well, I was trying to get the stream to work, but I said never mind. Play it because I was in the middle of a session too. I was playing as Trung Trek for the first time, and I said I'll save it. And we get some DLC coming too. Two other Civs? I think, yeah. Never tried PlayStation app, but yeah. So yeah, it's not good. To this day, when I'm on here in the chat with friends, they can't, like, they try to use the app and talk through mobile. Constant disconnection and all that, it just doesn't work out well. quality not good. I'm waiting for Risk of Rain 2 DLC. Oh, I am not familiar with that game. Ouch. Resting headache. I think I shall call it a day, or at least for now just in stream, but then I'll come back maybe tomorrow, maybe not, but it's warm, not warm, it's cool now, so I don't have internet problems and anything messing with uploads. But yes, I will be streaming more consistently and try to stream with friends, play 2K and some other games with those who are watching. At least I'll try to stream 2 times a week now since the temperature is down. But thank you all for tuning in with me today and watching, chilling, and catching up. Streaming with your friends is so funny. Yeah, we'll play something, maybe like a Fortnite thing or something. Like, there were so many. If you had seen us when we were mainly all on 2K, it'd be a ton of yelling and anger and stuff back when we really cared about it, like 4 2Ks ago. But I didn't have this channel then, and but yeah, thank you all. Pleasure chilling out with you all today. Goodbye to you too, Dagger, and I will see y'all later. Turn off. I always forget how to end this. How do I end the stream? Peace. Oh, thank you, Frank. Thank you. I'm glad I didn't end it. Now I could see you say bye. Thank you for the donation. Peace to you as well.